Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights, and today we are talking about the full moon happening in Gemini on November 23rd, 2018 at 12:40 a.m. Eastern Time. Because that's happening so early in the morning, that is going to make it November 22nd, 2018 at 9:40 p.m. Pacific Time if you're on the West Coast. All right, so that's what we're dealing with this full moon in Gemini. What I believe this full moon in Gemini is all about, it's going to bring an ending and things that we're familiar with and things that are close to home so that we can travel, adventure, expand our life, and do things we have not done before that are way more exciting for us. So that's what we're going to talk about in the next few minutes in this video. Before I get started though, you all know what I got to do. I got to tell you all about my services. If you've been waiting to book a reading with me, maybe this is the time to do it, especially right around the holidays, especially when the chart is starting to look a lot more exciting and adventurous and optimistic than it has in weeks past. I got a few readings for you. If you want to get your birth chart read by me, I've got a 30-minute reading and a 1-hour reading as well. The 30-minute reading, again, is better for quick answers, quick hits. I like those a lot. Get in, get out. My Gemini mind keeps me going. You can hit me up for that. If you want a reading a little bit longer so that we can sit with your chart, we can talk to you more about some things going on as well, feel free to do that too. That's much better if you want to get my 1-hour reading, more detailed and more in depth. And kind of dig deeper into some things. So if you like that, again, links down below in my description box. Also, I do have a few spots available to be your personal astrologer for the beginning of this year. All right, slots are going fast. I don't have that many left, but if you want to meet with me on some kind of regular or consistent basis, it could be a once a month, it could be once every other week, it could be once a quarter. Let me know. We got a bunch of options for you and a bunch of different prices, hopefully some that are very affordable for you as well, at a link if you want to meet with me more regularly down below in my description box. All right, so that's what I've got for you. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. For those of you who watch all my videos as I go through my services, I'm very thankful and appreciative for those of you who have ordered readings from me, and I hope that they have been very useful, helpful, and insightful for you, those who have met with me. Now for your horoscope. What we've got going on. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I'm not gonna lie, guys, about this full moon and about how the chart is looking. Not just because this full moon is in Gemini, which is my sign, even though I don't have any planets at the beginning degrees of Gemini, but also because the astrology is looking much better. So that's what we're going to talk about. This full moon, just so you can locate it here in the chart, right here in Gemini, 0 degrees, the beginning of Gemini. Here's the sun, of course, opposite the moon. That's what makes a full moon. A full moon is the sun opposite the moon, and the sun here in the opposite sign of Gemini, Sagittarius. What do full moons bring? Endings and things. They end things, or they bring things that we've been working on for a while to completion, where we can, in a sense, see the fruits, more or less, of those labors that we've done in the past. What is coming to an end or a completion? Gemini. What does Gemini rule? Your neighbors, your siblings, and if you want to get more abstractly, things close to home. Not your home and family, that's Cancer. Gemini rules things close to home, things next to your home, things outside your home, things around your home. Okay, they're the things that you're familiar with. Gemini rules the things, in a sense, I don't know if I necessarily want to explain it this way, but things that you touch and feel, that you're familiar with. This is a pen, this is a mug, this is a laptop. How do I know they are these things? Because I'm familiar with them. I use them every single day. And because I use them every single day, I know the color of it, I know the shape of it, I know where all my applications are, I know what it looks like. So what we're ending here, or completing, is a sense of familiarity about our life and about our surroundings, all right? We're ending that. Why are we ending our familiarity around our surroundings, around our home? So with the sun being in Sagittarius, in a conjunction with Jupiter, we can do something new. We can travel far from home. We can expand our horizons. We can do things that we have not done before that are so exciting. But in order for us to travel, to move away from home, to bring more excitement and more joy back to our life, we have to leave behind all of the things that we're used to doing, all of the things that are familiar to us, all of the things that we know inside and out we have to let go of so that we can step into the unknown, the beautiful unknown. Okay, and I think that's what we're trying to come to terms with at this full moon is, why do I gotta let what's familiar to me go? Even if you didn't really like what was familiar, why do I gotta let all that go? And where is my life going from here on out? And what does all this mean? And I think we're trying to get our surroundings and everything around us in order so that we can prepare to leave on some trip, to do something new that will bring an emotional benefit, that will be better for us emotionally, okay? And I think that is what's happening. The way that I kind of feel about this full moon is it's like preparing for a big trip, and it's like your goodbye party. It's like your goodbye party before you go on a big trip, you know, or it's like your goodbye party when you leave a job. Or it's like a, you know, this may not resonate with some, but it's like a goodbye trip before you go on a mission. On a mission trip, since I'm involved in a lot of religious groups. I was a Mormon convert. I had a lot of friends who would leave to go on Mormon missions. And then you have a big goodbye party, and everyone's at the goodbye party, and everyone's asking you all. And I've left tons of jobs. I've got Uranus in the 6th house. I leave jobs like every few months, which is why I decided to start my own business. And it's like, you're about to go to a new job. You're about to go live in a new town. You're about to go travel abroad or overseas. And to me, this full moon is like the party to say, oh my gosh, how exciting is this trip you're about to go on? How cool is that? And you're talking about your past, you know, oh, you know, and you're talking about your future. You're like talking about everything, you know, and you're reminiscing about your past, you know. Maybe you didn't like the past, but you're thinking about the good times. Oh, well, remember when, like, the past few years at this old job, remember this really funny thing that happened in the office? Or, oh, remember, like, this really successful project that I worked on at my old job, and now I'm leaving that behind, and I'm, like, kind of excited about this new thing that I'm going into, but I'm kind of sad because we had some really good memories, even though there may have been some tough ones in there about the past, you know? Or, oh, how cool is it? You're going to some new town, new city that you've never been in, but what about this town that you like, you know? And I feel like we're kind of at that part in our journey at this full moon where we see an adventure unfolding before us. We may not even see it, but we sense it. There's some adventure before us, and we're having to let go of all of the things in our life previously that we were familiar with, that we know or have known, so that we can let other new, different things that give us joy come into our life. And we've got the excitement of the future, and we've got the regret, the worry about the past, and the nostalgia from the past, you know, thinking about the past and worried, not only thinking and remembering the good things about the past, but worried, was there something in the past I did not do that I wanted to do, that I now regret, that I should have done, that I did not complete? And it's like all of those feelings coming back. And I think this full moon is saying, look, no matter what you did or did not complete in the past, no matter what you did or did not do, no matter what was good or no matter what was bad, it's time for you to move on, to accept and to surrender to what has happened and to where your life is now going, and to believe that you have a brand new journey, a brand new adventure, beautiful things coming to you, new experiences, way better than you've had the past few years about to enter your life, especially with the Sun conjunct Jupiter. I think this is one of the best full moons of this year. I think it is. Sun conjunct Jupiter. It's really lucky, you know, even if it feels uncomfortable, and we're having to let go of all the things that we know so that we can branch out. And as we're branching out into something new, we're excited about the future, but we're worried about the past. Maybe regretful about the past, fearful about the past, fearful now about what's going on, and really needing to break through it. You know, the inside degree that I found for in the Sabian symbols for the moon at Gemini was like the break of dawn. It's when all of a sudden you get the flash of awareness into your mind after dealing with your desires, maybe even earthly desires, after dealing with practical matters. And when planets switch into Gemini from Taurus, all of a sudden the intellect slowly starts to kick on, where you realize, wait a second, this was something I wanted and desired in my life that was really important to me, but now your mind's going to give you the awareness about that desire, about why you wanted that thing, about what it meant, about what it means to you, about the future, in a more intellectual, kind of lighthearted kind of sense than you had before. And I think at this new moon, even though we could be regretful, sad about the past, especially with Saturn being in Scorpio for 6 years, Jupiter just being in Scorpio, the Sun just being in Scorpio, we could feel regretful and sad about the past, about things we did or did not want, about things that did or did not happen. With this full moon, and Gemini is saying, okay, you may have a lot of feelings about that, but your mind has to kick in, your intellect has to kick in to give you new insights about the future and to help you get a handle on some of your feelings and some of your fears and some of your karmic baggage, to help you get a handle on that so that you can allow yourself to move on, thinking more clearly, feeling more clearly, and feeling more in control than you have previously, because you're weighing things out in your mind. All right. So that's the message I want to share for you there. Now I'm just going to go into some of the other aspects that the full moon is making before I go any further. I got a little excited there. Sorry I was talking so fast, but I am so excited about the astrology for the rest of this year. I feel like this whole year I've been talking to you all about change, things changing, things being heavy, things being hard, having to build things being very serious, feeling held back, and you're going to get a very different message from me now on out. Things are getting exciting, things are getting more lighthearted, and things are going to start to move along at a much faster pace, even if it's not registering right now, or even if it's just starting to register. We're just now getting the awareness with this full moon happening at the very beginning degrees of a sign. We're just now getting the awareness that things in our life are about to be different than they have been before. And we're just now starting to see it, even if we're not quite sure what's going to happen, and even if it feels uncomfortable, okay? Saturn's no longer in Scorpio. I know I just said this. Jupiter's no longer in Scorpio. The sun's no longer in Scorpio. Times are changing. It's no longer dark and heavy. The light is coming back. Happiness is coming back in your life. New and optimistic things. It's time to get on board with it. It's time to understand that. It's time to change your belief systems and your perspective, and to let go of your old things, your old issues, let go of your old problems, let go of all the old things that have been hard, let go of all the old things that were familiar to you. It's time to move on. All right, so now let's get into the aspects. All right, I'm just gonna, I think, erase the chart just to make it a little bit easier for you to see as I start to break some things down. I just had to share that message with you because it's been on me. It's been on my chest and on my heart to share this message, and I just had to get it out of the way before I could talk about some of the other stuff. So here we are, this full moon again, the sun in an opposition with the moon, making it a full moon right here in Gemini. I did mention this before, but just to get more technical, the sun here is in a conjunction with Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It is the planet of new things, of wisdom, and of understanding. I think wisdom about our life, understanding about our life, more adventure and passion is coming into our life. Just in order for us to end it, we got to let go of our normal way of thinking. We got to let go of our normal way of doing things. We have to let go of our familiar situation first at this full moon, so that when the new moon in Sagittarius comes 2 weeks from now, we can fully be open to new perspectives and to new adventures, and to embrace them without feeling held back, without feeling uncertain or uncomfortable or beholden to the past and old situations that are no longer around, or that are very quickly falling away from us, okay? So that we can move into better situations. So that's what's happening there. The other alignment that's occurring at this full moon as well is that it is making a square over here to Mars and Pisces, okay, which is in a square to both the sun and the moon. While we are trying to let go of our familiar surroundings so that we can do something new, get more excited about life, be more passionate about life, and get more wisdom about our previous experiences, even if they have been hard, I think there could be some things about the past with Mars and Pisces that we could be trying to work out and trying to figure out, trying to deal with, trying to overcome. I think as well we could be feeling a little bit, I don't know if uncomfortable is the word, but I think like with Mars and Pisces, we're trying to like finally like get rid of the past. Like, I know I've said in so many of my videos for the past few months, like, overcome the past, heal the past, get rid of the past. And I think Mars and Pisces now was saying, okay, like, for real now, for real, like, for real this time. Like, for real this time, you got to start putting it all to bed. And I think we're still going to have some things from the past lingering around. Like, Neptune's going to be in Pisces for a while. Chiron's going to be in Pisces for a few more months. But Mars has given us that last push to say, okay, I know the past is still hanging around, but I got to like do my best to make amends with it. I got to do my best to clean it all out. I got to do my best to put it to bed. And I think if there's anything about our past that we have been scared to face, Mars and Pisces at this full moon is saying, I cannot be afraid to face the past anymore. I cannot keep old things lingering around in my life that are not serving me, and I cannot constantly be uncomfortable and scared about my life, about where it's going, about what I'm being called to do. Okay, So I think that's what's happening here with Mars in a square, is it's saying, look, I have to deal with my emotional baggage. I have to deal with all this old stuff from the past. I cannot be afraid to deal with it. And I have to clear it all out and put it behind me so that I can make this ending in my familiar environment and the things that are familiar and comfortable for me, and do something new that needs to be done. All right, I think that's what's happening there. Mars in a square with Jupiter, I'm going to give you the two sides of this, because Mars is also in a square with Jupiter. It's not just in a square with the sun and moon. Can make you very adventurous, can make you very excitable, can make you very prideful, feel like you're the king of the world. I think that's the good part of it. This is the part, the way I want to interpret Mars and Jupiter in a square. It can make you very excited about your life and wanting to push forward. But before you push forward with Mars and Pisces, needing to clear out the past, needing to clear out the old stuff before you can move into the new, and needing to pace yourself, okay? If you don't get the positive aspect of Mars square Jupiter, you can get the negative aspect of Mars square Jupiter. So instead of feeling so excited about your new life and wanting to push forward, but still attached to the past and still old things about the past, Mars and Jupiter could make you feel very frustrated. It could make you feel a little angry. It could make you feel a little anxious now, because maybe you feel something's coming, or maybe you're worried that something will not come. And with Mars and Pisces, maybe there's a lot of emotional stuff to deal with. And just the message that I'm getting from this here, you got to put the emotional stuff to bed. You got to get rid of it, okay? And once you put the emotional stuff to the side and deal with that, and not be afraid to deal with it and put it behind you, for one of the last times that you're going to have to deal with some of this really hard, sensitive stuff, once you can do that, things are going to get much better, and you're going to get more excited about where your life is going. But if you can't deal with old stuff, if you're afraid to deal with the past, if you're afraid to rehash some things, then you may get the negative, more frustrated and more angry aspect at this moon. And I'm telling you, this moon looks so good and so beautiful. Don't let yourself get stuck on old people, old habits, old situations that are no longer calling your name, because I'm telling you, there are new ones around the corner. And if you can put the old ones to bed, this is going to be very beautiful for you. So get the positive Mars Jupiter, and not the more challenging one. The next thing I want to talk about while this is going on, Mercury here in a square with Neptune, Mercury going retrograde. So as we're trying to end some things close to home, put some things from the past to bed so that we can get more excited about our life and where it's going. We could have some very confusing conversations that are going on with others that are very hazy. Even conversations that we have with ourselves could be confusing, because we're doing something that's new that we've never ever done before. We don't know what that new thing is. Like, if I've never done something before, how can I speak about it? How can I talk about it? If I've never been to Italy before, how can I talk to you about what the food in Italy is like? How can I talk to you about what it's like to walk on the streets of Italy? I don't know. Do they have it? Are there stones in the street? Is it cobblestone? You got some nice brick walls. Like, is it trees? Are there lots of trees? Is it mountains? Like, you can't speak about something you do not know yet. And so I think that could be very hard, where we want to speak about the future. We want to know Mercury. We want to know what this new adventure that we're embarking on is. But with Mercury going retrograde in a square with Neptune, we have no clue what's in store. And that's frustrating, because we want to know and we can't know. We want to talk about it, but we can't talk about it, or we're trying to talk about it, and it's confusing. And I think especially with Neptune and Sagittarius and Pisces, you got to have faith. You have to believe. Sagittarius is the sign of your belief systems. Even if you cannot see things clearly yet, even if you do not know, Mercury, what is in store for you? What can bring you the new and exciting thing, or how you can do the new and exciting thing? You have to believe. You have to adjust your belief systems to believe that it will be good, whatever will come, so that you can have fun with it, okay? So we've got that aspect there. Another thing going on, which one do I want to talk about? Mars also coming into a sextile, right, with Saturn. So I do think there's an opportunity, if you can deal with the past and get rid of the past and not be afraid to face the past and to conquer it, even if you're not quite sure where the future's going, other than you know that it's kind of exciting and different than where it used to be. I think you dealing with the past is going to help you to put more structures in your life to get to start to move forward, and to start to feel a little bit more stable and secure about the direction your life is going in, even if you're unsure about what exactly that direction is, okay? Got to put the past to bed. Got to put some of your emotional insecurities to rest. Get more of the intellectual awareness with the full moon in Gemini about your past experiences, about the things that are hurting you, all right? So that you can start to move forward, get more excited about life, and put more structures in place that you need to support your future development, all right? We also do have at this time Venus, not exact. It's going to take another week coming into an opposition here with Uranus as well, and in a square with the nodes. So as we're trying to go on some new journey to clean out the past, to feel more stable and more excited about our future, we could have in the next week or two more choices about relationships that could come up, or more things about relationships that we're trying to work out, we're trying to figure out. We're going on some new journey, but we gotta figure out, what does this mean for the people in my life, my relationships? What does this mean for my money? If I'm doing something new or different, how do I do my money and my relationships differently to accommodate that, which may bring more choices that you may have to make about people as well. Okay, Venus in an opposition with Uranus could bring unexpected things with relationships or money as you get more of an idea once Mercury ends its retrograde period about what this new thing is that you're doing, okay? So as you get more of an idea, not necessarily at this full moon, but in the week or two following the full moon, and especially at the new moon in Sagittarius, as you get more of an idea of what your new life is about to look like, as you get more excited about your new life and loosen the grip on the past, you may realize that you need to make choices, more choices with more clarity about your relationships and about your money that may surprise people, that may be unexpected as well, that may go back on some old things that you did so that you can break free from old situations and move on living this best life possible, okay? It's really a time here with this Venus opposite Uranus, square the nodes, very karmic. And I think now we're in a better place to make these karmic decisions. It's very important for you to not let the old things from the past hold you back, to break free from situations that aren't working for you, to break free from old mindsets, to break free from old things about relationships and money, so that you can move forward feeling more liberated to do the things that you want and need, and more excited to set yourself up for the adventure that's coming, okay? What else do I want to mention? Okay, I think if you can do these unexpected things or make these choices about relationships and money from a much more clear point of view, especially as Mercury retrograde ends around December 6th, I believe, and especially towards the new moon in Sagittarius, which we're getting the idea about what's going on right now. If you can make better choices about relationships and money, not only is it going to help you to do something new that excites you, but with the North Node in Cancer, it's going to help to ground you, root you, and help you feel much better emotionally than you have in a really long time, okay? Another thing that's going on that I did not mention is that this new moon, let me clean my chart one more time, is that this full moon, excuse me, not a new moon, is also going to be in an out of sign trine. I'm going to do it right here. An out of sign trine and sextile. The moon's going to sextile here the North Node in Cancer, and it's also going to sextile Chiron in Pisces. And of course, because the sun and the moon are in an exact opposition, that means the sun is going to trine Chiron, and it also means the sun is going to trine the North Node. This makes it a kite. This is a kite that the full moon is making. Kites are beautiful alignments, because wherever the planets are that sextile, good things happen, good things come. And I think if you can let go of what's familiar to you, if you can let go of your immediate environment, it's going to help you to feel better emotionally. It's going to help you to deal with the past, like emotional healing. Like, I really do feel that way, you know, like this full moon in Gemini, and especially the new moon in Sagittarius coming up in 2 weeks, is going to be beautiful to help us step into some new life, new adventure, doing things way different, way more happy, way more optimistic than we've been doing them for years. And this full moon is the spark of awareness when it says, yes, my life is going to be different. Yes, I can overcome the past. Yes, I will rise from the ashes. Yes, I will do something else better. I will do the future better. And the reason why now is better and the future will be better than the past is because I have learned so much from the past that led me to this point. And even though the past may have sucked, even though the past may have been hard, the past is beautiful because it led you here to this much better place where your life is going to change in a more positive way, and your life is going to blossom in a more positive way from here on out, okay? And I think it's a lot of that that's going on at this moon, especially with it being at 0 degrees, because with it being at 0 degrees, like, there's still part of us that's stuck in the Scorpio Taurus. Like, there's still part of us that's like attached to the past, worried about the past, fearful about the past, stuck in karmic relationships, karmic entanglements, you know, sad, feeling like there's been a huge death or a huge loss in your life. And this, I just believe it. This new moon is saying, look, it's the first spark of awareness in your mind, saying these karmic entanglements you need to break free from. You need to make a choice to break free from. It's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. You got to break it. You know, oh, this old thing that's been hard for you, it's done. It's done. We're breaking bonds. We're breaking chains. We're taking off handcuffs here that have been on for years. And I think this moon is the moon we're getting it. I like it. I'm very optimistic about it. I feel really good. I hope that's been made clear, and I'll stop beating a dead horse so that we can move on. You got to quit the backwards gaze. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes now. You got to quit the backwards gaze. You got to quit hoping that something would happen and that didn't happen. You got to quit feeling like things are always going to be bad. You got to let go of all that emotional weight from Scorpio. You got to engage the mind, and you got to bring the passion back. You got to bring the fire back. And instead of thinking about all the bad things from the past, you got to think about the times that you had the strength to overcome and to keep going. And you got to let that sustain you into the future and to get excited about what is to come. Because a lot of good things are here. They're here. I don't want you to miss it. It's no longer about hard change and dealing with hard stuff anymore. It's not. It's not about that. This is all about creating a life finally that you really like, that you really enjoy. It's going to take time for you to build that life. All this stuff is in a semi-square to Saturn and Pluto. It's going to take time for you to build that life. Still, old structures are going to be brought down in your life in the next year in a really big way. But right now, we're preparing to get excited, to give us the strength, the courage, and the passion so that we can do the things that we need to do to create a life that I think will be much better for us. And and let yourself go there. Now, your card for this full moon is, oh, I love it. I love this card. I've got this one so many lately in just readings that I've done for myself. It's the 8. It's the 8 of Swords. Reversed. How fitting. The swords to me are air signs, Gemini. This is all about unblinding yourself. This woman in this tarot card is blindfolded. She's blindfolded, and you know what she's surrounded by? Swords. She's blindfolded by her own mind, by her own perspective. Like, we don't even know who tied her up in this photo. She may have tied her own self up in this tarot card. And so I feel like what happens when I see this card is we are blinded by our own perspective. We keep telling ourselves things that are not true. We keep rehashing old things that don't matter anymore. We keep replaying old events, old things, old perspectives, old belief systems that have no more weight, that don't make sense anymore, that aren't true for the life we're about to live. And this card, when it's reversed, says, look, it's time for you to change your mindset. It's time for you to let go of all things that were hard. It's time for you to stop sabotaging yourself, or for you to stop thinking that things are always going to be bad and then sabotage yourself in the future. Okay? You got to let yourself down. And this woman, I mean, we don't know what necessarily happens to her, but this woman doesn't have any help around her. There's no one around. Like, who is she going to ask to take off her blindfold? You know, I mean, maybe there is someone around the corner, but a lot of times this card, I feel like you got to do it yourself. You can't wait for someone else to say, look, I'm so sorry you're feeling this way. Let me help you take off the blindfold. Let me help fix your belief systems. You know, let me just help you see things in a better way. This card is saying you got to free yourself. You can't wait for someone else to free you. You can't wait for some external event to tell you that your life is going to be different. No matter what your life looks like externally, even though I do think good things are coming in our lives in a physical way very soon, but no matter if those things have made themselves manifest yet, you have to make the choice now to free yourself, to liberate yourself from anything that's been hard for you without anyone else giving you permission to do it, without anyone else doing, acting, saying anything, without any other event coming up telling you otherwise. You can't rely on the external world. You have to find the strength within yourself here to pick up the pieces from the past and to move on with more awareness and excitement. All right, so that's what I've got for you for this full moon in Gemini. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was a fun ride. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.